There's this one guy by the name of LuigiFan110, or, as he goes by in his other channel, MarioFan110. Now, besides having the most original and unique usernames of all time, he also does IGN rants. How are they? Wow!
I swear to God, if anybody tries to combat me on this, you're a fucking idiot too. Yeah, LuigiFan110 is such an idiot. Okay, how am I an idiot? Every argument that this guy provided, I completely destroyed it with evidence.
Clearly we're dealing with an intellectual that is so confident with his ability to debunk any and all arguments presented to him that he is willing to denounce any and all detractors. Well, on with the commentary! And I'll be skipping to the parts I want to commentate on.
Uprising is a fast-paced, light-hearted action game featuring an insane amount of unlockable content and a very strong multiplayer component. Though it struggles in some significant ways, this latest game from Super Smash Bros. Creator Masahiro Sakurai is yet another great entry in the 3DS's relatively young library.
Oh, struggles in some significant ways, huh? Alright, let's see what those are, shall we?
Notice how Luigi Fan disregards everything else that the reviewer says and just zones into the part where he says the game struggles in some significant ways. That's pretty much the entire video in a nutshell.
As Pit actively confronts the forces of evil, he will banter with allies and foes alike, not only commenting on what he's currently fighting, but the larger situation he finds himself in. The downside to this banter? The characters won't shut up.
It's true.
Though the voice acting here is generally commendable, the fact that no one will stop talking can often be distracting.
Yeah, well, there's an option to turn the voices completely off. So, that argument is pretty much void.
Anybody else hear that? That little laugh that he did? That little laugh that is full of smugness and pretentiousness? The kind of laugh that says, oh, what I just said was so clever and witty, I totally showed that opposition something. Yeah, that laugh. Here's the thing though, that complaint is still relevant because it is still a part of the game. He'll want to turn off the voices because he finds them annoying. You might as well say, hey, turn the volume off so that you won't have any sound-related problems at all.
However, multiplayer combat feels very different than the campaign, particularly when human opponents are involved. The campaign's enemies won't be trying to rapidly strafe and outmaneuver you, highlighting Uprising's biggest weakness, its controls.
Oh great, here we go.
Uh-oh, they're gonna point out the positives and negatives of a game? What is this, a video game review?
Whether on land or in the sky, the default controls use the circle pad for movement, the stylus for aiming, and one shoulder button for shooting. This scheme, regardless of any adjustments made in the options, works reasonably well in the air, and the game's emphasis on bite-sized chapter segments certainly helps. However, when on the ground, the stylus proves more challenging, as gripping the system with one hand is cumbersome. These sequences and the entire multiplayer component desperately need a dual-stick control option.
Oh, dual stick control option, huh? What about the Circle Pad Pro? Why can't you just use that?
Because the Circle Pad Pro doesn't support dual analog controls. So, there you go.
Even with a myriad of custom configurations, it's baffling that Kid Icarus doesn't support the Circle Pad Pro.
What did you just say? What did you just say?
I said shut your ugly face, Flanders!
It's baffling that it does not support the Circle Pad Pro. Really? You're claiming that this game does not use the Circle Pad Pro? Are you claiming that it's not compatible with this game? 'Cause I'm looking at the box right now, and it says that it's compatible with the Circle Pad Pro. Wow! So IGN, you lied again!
Hey, here's a simple question. When you were looking at the back of the box, did you see the part that says, and I'm quoting, attach the Circle Pad Pro sold separately for alternate left-handed controls? Because that's basically what the Circle Pad Pro is used for. Left-handed controls. Not dual analog controls, left-handed controls. And that's what he was talking about.
What if I'm someone that wants to look at a review, huh? What if I want to get this game and I want to look at a review for it? I want to see what the game is like. Let's look up a video review, shall we? And then all of a sudden, we get lies. We get lied to.
There have been articles before the game came out that told us how the Circle Pad Pro works for Kid Icarus, especially in IGN. And you know who wrote that IGN article? Richard George, the same guy who's doing the review that you're ranting about.
It does support the Circle Pad Pro, okay? It says it on the back of the fucking box.
It also specifies that it's used for left-handed controls in the back of the box. Who knew? Well, to be fair, could have Richard George have said it's baffling that Kid Icarus doesn't support the Circle Pad Pro for dual analog controls? Well, yes, that would have been a better clarification. Then again, he did say that in the written review. You know, the full review that is a more detailed version of the video review. Just pointing that out there. And if they were lying, that would mean that they would be purposely withholding information, even though it was on their article and the written review. So how is that lying?
Circle Pad Pro compatible. Fucking idiots.
You know, basically this is what makes his videos just hard to watch, because every video that he makes ranting about IGN is just oozing with hatred and anger and a condescending tone that just highlights the bias that he has against the website to begin with.
Despite these aggravating flaws,
Yeah, aggravating flaws. Even though it supports it!
If you're left-handed, that is.
Kid Icarus Uprising is a flawed game.
Not!
Oh, snap!
Oh wow, not. I haven't heard that come back since elementary school. Like, how old is this guy? Like 14 or so? 20? He's 20 years old and he's using the not card? I'm a 21-year-old guy using a video game character to represent myself, and I wouldn't even resort to using the not card. Seriously, you would have been better off going, your mom is flawed. Oh yeah, and denying that Kid Icarus Uprising may be flawed doesn't make you look fair and balanced.
The controls could use some significant work.
Yeah, significant work. Yeah, even though there's nothing wrong with them and it just takes getting used to. Even though it's not difficult to use the controls in this game whatsoever, so, you know.
You can literally say that about any game. Any game. It still doesn't make it right. Just because you get used to a control scheme doesn't mean the control scheme is good. You can get used to eating rocks, broken glass, and Snapple. It doesn't mean that's a healthy diet.
Yeah, it's a tiny bit, inconvenient. The tiniest bit. But anybody who complains about the controls in this game is an idiot. So yeah.
Dude, if somebody had a legitimate reason as to why they don't like the controls of the game, that doesn't make them an idiot. I mean, you actually believe that, man? Like, how old are you, oh wait?
It just takes getting used to. And it doesn't take that long either, so yeah. Idiots.
Hey, Luigi fan. You know, this might be odd, but you know who agrees with you for the most part? Richard George.
Despite these aggravating flaws, Uprising's core combat mechanics are still thrilling. It's worth fumbling with the settings, options, and positioning the 3DS, because the action and the adventure are so much fun. Uprising is the video game equivalent of an interactive roller coaster, one that doesn't let up until its credits roll.
So he basically said that the controls are worth fumbling over because of how much fun the game is. So why are you upset? He's saying the same thing that you're saying now. Of all the reviews of Kid Icarus Uprising to be upset over, why one that's overly positive about the game? I can understand disagreeing with him, but this is beyond disagreeing. This is just bitching.
The action sometimes gets a little crowded, and the voice acting can get irritating.
Then turn off the voices. Idiot again.
Oh man, the animation of this cartoon is really bad. Well then just close your eyes whenever you watch the cartoon, idiot.
Yet those flaws are outweighed by stunning graphics, music, combat mechanics, unlockable content, and much more. This game has so much content that you'll be playing it long after you've completed the campaign, particularly if the multiplayer component hooks you, which is likely. Kid Icarus isn't exactly a noteworthy Nintendo franchise, but after Uprising, it should be. This world and the type of adventure it contains should not be limited to one game. Here's hoping we see more from Pit and his demonic foes. For more on Kid Icarus Uprising, stay tuned to IGN.com.
Oh no, how could IGN say such terrible things about the game? They're terrible, they're horrible, they're absolutely the worst in the entire world.
Alright, now, as tradition, let's have a look at the verdict screen. Okay.
Oh no, let's not look at the entire review as a whole. Let's look at the verdict screen, which is a summary of the video review, which is a condensed version of the full written review.
Wow, epic reference. The waves splitting apart, man, I love that.
And by love, I mean hate.
But, yes. Let's see. 8.5. Yep, that is great. It's a great score.
And that's all that should matter. Good night, everybody.
But, let's have a look. Oh, I see a negative that says controls.
What kind of cold, unjust world is this?
Even though there's nothing wrong with them. All you need to do is get used to the controls, and you'll be fine.
Getting used to the controls does not mean that the controls are good. It just means you got used to the controls. Why do I feel stupid for saying that?
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the whole Mario Strikers thing. The one on GameCube and then the one on Wii. Oh, man. That can take some getting used to. But it takes time. It really does. The gameplay is a bit redlining in Mario Strikers, but you know what? You get used to it. And then eventually it becomes fucking fun as hell. Same thing with this.
But isn't that what Richard George said in this review? Now that I think about it, doesn't saying that you have to get used to the controls automatically imply that the controls aren't that great to begin with? I mean, yes, Richard George is saying that the game is fun enough to fumble over the controls with, yet you still have to fumble with the controls.
All I see is a negative that says controls.
Because that's all you see. All you see in any IGN review is just the negatives. You know, if you paid attention to the positives, you might find something that you agree with.
So, this game should get a perfect score then.
Really? Really? What's wrong with an 8.5? I just asked this question. What is wrong with an 8.5? Please, someone tell me, what is wrong with an 8.5? Oh.
Wow. Okay. I don't give a shit if a game gets an 8.5 or an awesome score.
Who did you get a 10?
I just fucking love to point out flaws, okay? That's how I roll, and I'm sure you guys know that already.
Yeah, but when somebody does the same thing to you and points out your bullshit, no matter how nice they are, or they're trying to be, you block them. And it's not really the fact that you blocked us that was the problem. It's the pompous attitude that goes along with it. Like, oh, I'm the one pointing out all the flaws in IGN's reviews. And if you disagree with me, then you are the idiot here. I'm just so passionate about video games that I feel obligated to defend them from people who also like them. Do you hear the people singing the song of angry men?
So, back off in that regard, okay? I don't care what the score says.
Who did you get a 10?
If IGN has flaws in their review, I repeat, I will point them out. Okay?
I'm the hero that this city deserves.
Especially the comment he made about the CirclePad Pro. He says it's baffling that the game doesn't support it, yet on the back of the fucking box it says it's compatible with the CirclePad Pro.
Well, technically, when talking about dual analog controls, the CirclePad Pro doesn't support the game.
So, he's an idiot!
Fuck you laughing about, man. All you did in this video was go, and now you're acting like, I sure showed them.
You see, people, this is why I do what I do. Because this company is full of idiots. And if that wasn't evidence for you that they are, then you're the idiot here.
That speaks for itself.
Okay, I repeat, this is why I do what I do. Because they're idiots. And that's proof right there. That's 100% evidence. A professional video gaming reviewing company. Well, that's one of their things they do. And they couldn't even look at the back of the fucking box.
Look who's talking.
CirclePad Pro compatible. That's right. I can't believe that shit. I honestly cannot believe they would make such a big fucking mistake as to that.
I thought you said it was a lie.
So IGN, you lied again!
So which one is it? Is it a lie or is it a mistake? Did you plan this out beforehand?
Oh wait, yes I can, because I already know that they're idiots!
You know, if you're always going to be in the mindset that they're idiots and everything they say is wrong, of course everything that they're going to say is wrong to you.
Well, that's all I needed to say about this review. If IGN does something else that's stupid and for no reason at all, I'll be sure to get back to you guys. See y'all later. Wow. They couldn't even read the back of the box, and they could just turn off the voice work if they're that annoyed. Simple!
So let's see. He's pretentious. He overreacts to small, minute details. He's bitter. He's biased, very biased. And he blatantly disregards any other research. So he's basically the epitome of everything that I hate about YouTube ranters. And he's also the average IGN ranter. Huh. Well, I guess we all learned the valuable lessons. What's wrong with an 8.5?
Is it safe to say Sonic is good again?
Well, ever since Sonic 06, after that, yeah, it was safe.
Yes, only a few seconds in and we already took a joke seriously. And by the way, I'm going to change that picture and give him an avatar that better represent himself. And believe me when I say, once you see it, it's going to make a lot of sense.
Seems like the last 2 years have seen numerous fun titles starring the Hedgehog. It's almost enough to make you forget about Werehogs and that time Sonic tried LARPing.
Oh boy, I can see where this is going. This is going to get really bad, isn't it?
Generic IGN review assumption quote for the win!
He was totally dead for a while, but now he's back, and we're ready to love him again. So how does Sega explain two Sonics? With time paradoxes, of course. A big purple monster thing steals all of Sonic's friends and dumps him into Limbo, where he meets his past self. In order to restore time and space, the Sonics have to relive moments from their past and run really, really fast, because that fixes time somehow. The entire game is an homage to the franchise, full of in-jokes, familiar locales, and characters. I don't want to spoil the story too much, but if you ever thought, I wish my Sonic game had 100% more Tails the Fox in it, then you're in luck.
What does that even mean? Is that really a bad point or a good point? I don't get it.
Oh, I know what it was. It's something that, thanks to you, have proved that neither you or any of the other idiots who commentate on IGN seem to understand. It's called a joke. Now, I know this concept may be a little bit foreign to you. I mean, dear God, you are a third-gen faggot, seeing that you called your commentary a rant video for some reason. I mean, what the fuck were you on? But that's all I'm saying.
Everything in Sonic Generations looks good while you're in motion. Like a racing game, it's designed to be sped past quickly.
Sonic is a platformer, not a racer. Get it through your head.
He said like a racing game. Keyword like, meaning it was a simile. Obviously, English was your best course.
The layered backgrounds and vistas are nice, but this isn't a game to stop and admire the textures. And if you love Sonic's modern, vocal-fueled soundtrack, why?
Maybe it's because those tracks are actually, catchy and good and, well-written.
Oh, fuck you, IGN! How dare you have an opposing opinion against Sonic music that I like!
In the levels. There are only so many times you can hear City Escape before you want to kill yourself.
Wow, that's such a nice comment, IGN. I mean, really, there are a lot of people that like City Escape, you know.
True, but there's only so many times you can listen to the same music over and over again before it starts getting annoying, which is what he was saying. Misinterpretation! It makes you look smart!
Every major stage in Sonic Generations has two acts: classic, side-scrolling Sonic, and modern 3D homing attack Sonic. Essentially, half of the game is Sonic 4, and the other half is Sonic Colors. Both types of levels are fun, and your preference will likely depend on the year you were born, and if you even remember Sonic before he could spin dash.
I couldn't play video games until modern Sonic showed up, and I love both of them. And you know what? The spin dash was only a 1-year difference between Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. That's not a very good point.
All he's saying is that certain people who are more used to modern Sonic's game mechanics may not be interested in old school Sonic's game mechanics, and vice versa. Oh, but I forgot. Sonic Fag plus 3rd Gen Commentary plus IGN Game Review plus Sonic equals dumbass logic.
The old school platforming and the more modern, almost racing game levels fit together nicely, though there are still the occasional moments of clunky controls that can stop the action dead.
Did he just... Yeah! He boosted into a wall! What the hell? That's your fault, not the game!
Oh yes, that was so his fault, even though that wasn't his gameplay footage that was being shown. Yeah, you do know that IGN has a separate group that captures gameplay footage to be shown in the video review. And yes, I will come out and say that this does defeat the purpose of Sad Silson 11's one-shot on Loudon, but what I'm trying to say here is the clumsy controls that he's talking about might be present in the game, but not in the places that the review showed. But again, how would you know this? By the time you release this commentary out, the game hasn't even been out yet. I mean, IGN has an excuse. They got the fucking game before anyone else.
Thankfully, they're almost completely optional, so you can just play the good ones. Sonic Generations is a love letter to the Blue Blur, a Sonic game for Sonic fans. It seems like Team Sonic finally listened to the fanbase and took everything that didn't suck about the last 2 decades of Sonic and put it in one game.
I want to focus on this shot for a moment. The game got an 8.5. That's the best score IGN has ever given a Sonic game. And that this asshole is still bitching about it. Let that sink in for a moment.
Damn it, IGN, you really can't go with a Sonic review and not make fun of him, can you? Sure, the score was good, but your complaints just did not make any sense.
Oh yes, IGN, how dare you say things that my mind can barely comprehend?
You boosted into a wall and then called the controls clunky. Does this remind you anyone of anything that IGN did before? Oh yes, that's right, the Unleashed review, where the reviewer purposefully jumped over a dash panel and died, calling it bad controls.
Yeah, I know I already explained that IGN has its own group of people who record gameplay footage, so it's technically not the reviewer's fault of what ends up in the video. But you know what? Sonic fags are factually dumbasses, so I thought I needed to explain it again. You know what? I'm just going to skip the rest of the commentary because all he does throughout the rest is just bitch and moan about how IGN made fun of Sonic and how they are burying themselves a grave somehow even though they gave the game an 8.5 and basically saying that they better not give the DS version a better score because he thinks it's crap, which how would he know because that game doesn't come out for another month. And anyway, this commentary was just shit. It was nothing but a generic IGN commentary where he took the jokes too seriously and misinterpreted what was being said. And of course, showing us that Sonic fags are still nothing but ungrateful jackasses. And you know what's sad? People are actually agreeing with him. They're also saying that how dare IGN say such things about Sonic and that they're just trying to make the game look bad on purpose. Again, overlooking that it got an 8.5. But you know what? Those people are nothing but brain-dead idiots, so it's probably better not to pay attention to them.
Hey everybody, the Rose here with a commentary for you. I haven't done one of these in a while. This one is on the IGN game review of Sonic Generations. This has been covered a few times already, I know, in some commentaries.
Actually, most of those commentaries were against Lucario Trainer 16 and his shitty commentary on that said review.
More notably by Lucario Trainer 16, whom Ratsutsu Rises said he was bitching about this review. Well, in my opinion, he had every right to. And, well, let's begin, shall we?
Is it safe to say Sonic is good again? Seems like the last 2 years have seen numerous fun titles starring the Hedgehog. It's almost enough to make you forget about Werehogs and that time Sonic tried LARPing. He's like the Mickey Rourke of video games. Sure, it looked like he was totally dead for a while, but now he's back, and we're ready to love him again.
So basically you're saying it's time to start loving Sonic again because Sega made a few decent Sonic games. What if the next one sucks? Will it be time to start hating him some more? And while I'm at it, what is LARPing?
Well, Sonic was doing well in 2010 with 3 pretty good Sonic games. Then when this game came along, it seems that they've regained their hope in the franchise again. And also, LARPing is short for live action role-playing game. Didn't know what it means? You could have always looked it up. Google is your friend.
So how does Sega explain 2 Sonics? With time paradoxes, of course. A big purple monster thing steals all of Sonic's friends and dumps him into limbo, where he meets his past self.
You forgot to mention that.
We're skipping this next part due to the fact that what he says they missed out on were pretty much spoilers to the story. Gotta be more careful next time.
In order to restore time and space, the Sonics have to relive moments from their past and run really, really fast, because that fixes time somehow.
You know, I didn't understand that part much either.
The entire game is an homage to the franchise, full of in-jokes, familiar locales, and characters. I don't want to spoil the story too much, but if you ever thought, I wish my Sonic game had 100% more Tails the Fox in it, then you're in luck.
Mentioning the fact that there are 2 Tails characters in this game is pretty pointless, because you can't play as him, and it has really nothing to do with this.
He was just saying that Tails plays a bigger role in this game than he did in previous games, so that the Tails fans would be happy. And this may be a bit of a stretch, but the Tails mission in Chemical Plant, you do sort of play as him in that mission.
Everything in Sonic Generations looks good while you're in motion. Like a racing game, it's designed to be sped past quickly.
Hold the phone, people. Since when the hell is Sonic a racing game? Last time I remember playing a Sonic racing game was Sonic R, and that was 15 or so years ago.
Like a racing game, like...
If you listen carefully, he said like a racing game, meaning it shares similarities, and to an extent, he's right, because of like the adrenaline-fueled speed and the drifting round turns. Pay attention before trying to make a point like that next time.
The layered backgrounds and vistas are nice, but this isn't a game to stop and admire the textures. And if you love Sonic's modern, vocal-fueled soundtrack, why? The new arrangements for the game's iconic tracks are awesome, but I'm most grateful that the game lets you change songs in the levels. There are only so many times you can hear City Escape before you want to kill yourself.
You say we can change the songs before or in each stage, but yet then you say we can only hear City Escape so many times before we want to kill ourselves. You know, some of us actually like the music in the game. Like, I'm actually fairly satisfied with some of the music in the game. So I believe you just contradicted yourself by saying you're thankful you can change the music in each stage and then go saying that you basically hate one of the tracks. If you don't like it, change it.
How is that a contradiction exactly? I think he brought that up as a good point. If you get fed up with the original music, you can just change it. That was a good point.
Every major stage in Sonic Generations has 2 acts. Classic, side-scrolling Sonic, and modern 3D homing attack Sonic. The platforming and the more modern, almost racing game levels fit together nicely.
Again, Sonic is not a racing game. It's a platformer. Get it right.
And once again, you need to listen more carefully to what is being said.
Right.
Though there are still the occasional moments of clunky controls that can stop the action dead.
Alright, because you as the player making stupid mistakes gives you the excuse to say that this game has poor controls. I call bullshit.
1, that's not the same person. IGN have different people who play the games and write the reviews, and 2, that can happen in any Sonic game where, where you're going really fast, enjoying it, but then like hit a roadblock which you didn't see coming. As I said before, Sonic games have a basis around trial and error, so he probably wasn't playing bad on purpose.
What's great is that every level is a recreation of a level from a previous game. It's what makes this whole game so cool. And of course there are boss battles. You'll fight familiar bosses and rivals like Perfect Chaos and Metal Sonic. They're fun, but they feel a bit lackluster compared to boss battles of the past, and the overall epicness of the game. There are also challenge missions for each world that mix up the gameplay. Most are cool, but a few of them, usually the ones starring Sonic's dumb friends, are annoying. Thankfully, they're almost completely optional, so you can just play the good ones.
Sonic's stupid friends, huh? Just when I thought you were going good. Well, unless you consider Tails and Knuckles and Amy stupid, Shadow and Silver and Blaze and them, well, personally I don't really care much for Cream, so go ahead and bash her all you want. But seriously, the rest of them are pretty damn cool, so don't go and say they're stupid. And no, they're not completely optional, you dumbass. If you're an achievement hunter like a lot of people are, you have to do them all.
Here's something I'd like to bring up. Just because he showed a clip of Knuckles and said Sonic's dumb friends doesn't necessarily mean that he thinks Knuckles himself is dumb. If you ask me, he was probably referring to some of the other characters like the Chaotix or Cream. And also, most of the missions are optional, as to complete the game you only have to do a minimum of 9 missions. And no, he wasn't referring to achievement whores either.
Sonic Generations is a love letter to the Blue Blur, a Sonic game for Sonic fans. It seems like Team Sonic finally listened to the fanbase and took everything that didn't suck about the last 2 decades of Sonic and put it in one game. The levels are great, the action is mostly tight, and the nostalgia is at its max. For more on Sonic Generations, spin dash to IGN.com.
So, these are your bullet points to summarize your review, huh? Alright, let's go down the list here. First of all, 2 Sonics. Really? You're making that a bullet point? Seriously? We've known that since the game was teased about a year ago.
But he can still say it as a good point, can't he?
Sometimes clunky. Alright, I have to give you that. Levels are amazing, and I love them so much. Sometimes clunky, yes. I have encountered a few glitches in this game, which have kind of pissed me off. A couple quirky camera moments, that's kind of usual with the 3D Sonic, of course. And a glitch where Sonic was running backwards in the final battle against Time Eater. Yeah, that's kind of strange. Next, few boss fights. Really? I don't know. This game has 6, 7 of them? 7? Yeah, 7. And that's more than Sonic 1.
But that was Sonic's first outing with only 6 levels. This game was Sonic's 20th birthday game with 9 recreated levels. So you would kind of expect more bosses.
Hell, if you break apart Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, this game has more than those games also.
That depends on whether you'd count the mini-bosses from Sonic 3 and Knuckles bosses as well. Because they were kind of bosses.
And it also has more boss fights than Sonic 4. Gee, man, you really don't think before you speak, do you? Well, now it's time for my judgments at the end of this commentary here. Personally, Mr. IGN Reviewer, you failed to mention a lot of things about this game. You failed to mention about being able to play Sonic 1 on this game. You failed to mention about being able to unlock the older music in the game throughout various Sonic games. You failed to mention anything about Sonic's big variety of skills he has in this game.
You do realise this isn't the full review. The full reviews are on IGN's website as the written reviews. The video reviews are more a brief summary of the game that they reviewed, so there's only so much they can bring up during these reviews.
You failed to mention being able to unlock artwork and videos in this game and whatnot. You failed to mention that you can play as Super Sonic again in this game.
At the very end, and again, that would have been spoilers to what you unlock at the end of the game. When making a review, they don't want to give that stuff away if they're trying to get people to play the game.
You know, this, to me, is a piss-poor, half-assed, sorry excuse for a game review, and personally, I think you need to learn how to think before you speak.
Now that is irony!
Here would be a good place for me to end this commentary.
So what did I overall think of Saviour Rose Dragon PS3's video? Well, this commentary was pretty bad. He was misinterpreting a lot of what IGN had to say about the game, and thinking that what they said made the game seem worse than it actually was. And also harping over IGN not covering every single aspect of the game, when in their video reviews they have to be brief and cover the main parts. So this to me seemed like just an excuse to get on IGN's ass. But you know, I guess some people just can't let go, can they?
Is it safe to say Sonic is good again?
Yes! Yes, it is safe that Sonic is good again! I mean, ever since Sonic 06, after Sonic 06, then yes, Sonic is good again. I mean, my god, why would you ask something as stupid as that, you biased, ignorant prick?
Seems like the last 2 years have seen numerous fun titles starring the Hedgehog. It's almost enough to make you forget about Werehogs and that time Sonic tried LARPing.
Pause for dramatic effect. Oh, really? Oh, man. Being the oblivious Sonic tard that I am, I can totally see where this is going, and I know for a fact, just like IGN's opinions, god, fucking biased pricks, that I know that later in this review is going to be complete utter crap. Oh, and what the hell is LARPing? Is it, lasagna ass raping punks? Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. That's what I'm gonna describe you, IGN. Some lasagna ass raping punks. God!
He's like the Mickey Rourke of video games. Sure, it looked like he was totally dead for a while, but now he's back, and we're ready to love him again.
Okay, so let me see if I got this right. So you're basically saying that now we get to love Sonic again, all because he made some decent Sonic games. Well, hey! Think about this. What if the next Sonic game sucks? Does that mean that you and every other Sonic hater out there is going to hate on Sonic even more? Because if you do, I will fucking stab you because you are making fun of my masturbation icon. You.
So how does Sega explain two Sonics? With time paradoxes, of course. A big purple monster thing steals all of Sonic's friends and dumps him into limbo, where he meets his past self.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold it there, buddy. You forgot to mention about the fact that Eggman uses the time meter to erase certain parts of Sonic's past just to defeat him? I mean, how the hell could you miss that out? I don't care if I'm spoiling the game for millions of people that haven't bought the game and played it. I don't give a damn. In a video game review, you should add these things just to elaborate on certain crap. God damn. God, you're so biased.
In order to restore time and space, the Sonics have to relive moments from their past and run really, really fast because that fixes time somehow.
Yeah, I'm gonna randomly bring this up for no apparent reason, but for the record, I just want to say, yeah, I didn't get this either.
The entire game is an homage to the franchise, full of in-jokes, familiar locales, and characters. I don't want to spoil the story too much, but if you ever thought, I wish my Sonic game had 100% more Tails the Fox in it, then you're in luck.
You know, this begs the question, why the hell would you bring up the fact that there are two Tails in this game when they have nothing to do with this review and you don't play as them? You know what? Screw Tails. I hate Tails. Tails is the worst character ever and Shadow for the freaking win. Screw you guys. I hate Tails. Shadow's awesome. And even so, what the hell does that even mean? I mean, is it a good point? Is it a bad point? I don't get it. What the hell is that supposed to mean, you biased, ignorant bastard?
Everything in Sonic Generations looks good while you're in motion. Like a racing game, it's designed to be sped past quickly.
Wait, what? What? What the hell? No! No! Sonic Generations is not a racing game. It is a platformer. No. You don't understand, man. You don't fucking understand. No. That's a platform. This is a racer. Platformer, racer. Platformer, racer. Platformer, racer. Racer, platformer, racer. Platformer, racer. Regis Kelly, Michael Jordan. Platformer, racer. Blah, 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 blah. God, Sonic is a platformer, not a racer. Even though you clearly said that it was like a racing game, which basically implies that you were comparing some aspects of Sonic Generations to a racing game, but what do I know? I'm just some oblivious Sonic fan that doesn't know fucking similes when I fucking hear them. God!
The layered backgrounds and vistas are nice, but this isn't a game to stop and admire the textures. And if you love Sonic's modern, vocal-fueled soundtrack, why? The new arrangements for the game's iconic tracks are awesome, but I'm most grateful that the game lets you change songs in the levels. There are only so many times you can hear City Escape before you want to kill yourself.
Hey, fuck you, IGN! How dare you have a different opinion about songs that I like? And for that matter, don't you be talking shit about my City Escape. I like City Escape. And if you don't like it, why don't you listen to your own goddamn advice, you biased, ignorant bastard, and fucking change the music?
Both types of levels are fun, and your preference will likely depend on the year you were born, and if you even remember Sonic before he could spin dash.
Yeah, so what, man? I play Modern Sonic first, yet I still like both Modern Sonic and Classic Sonic. God, that was a really horrible point, you ignorant bitch!
The old school platforming and the more modern, almost racing game levels fit together nicely.
What did I just tell you? Sonic is a platformer, not a racer! God, you're so retarded! God, man, ugh!
Though there are still the occasional moments of clunky controls that can stop the action dead.
Okay, it's cool, alright, that's understandable. What the fuck? No, play that again! What? You boosted into a wall! Why would you do that? Why? No, I am going to lecture about this. I don't care if I stuttered through this lecture, but I am going to lecture about this just to prove my point! No! Why would you boost into a wall and then accuse the game for your utter stupidity? Why would you do that? Because in the gameplay that you're clearly showing us, it clearly shows to us that it is your fault and not the game's. Again, I ask you, why in God's name would you go ahead and just accuse the game for your mistakes? I mean, what are you thinking? Is this your first time playing a Sonic game? I can clearly beat you in a Sonic game if I was 2 years old! I mean, really? Really now? Why are you such a loser? You have no idea how awesome this game is! This is awesome! And you just have to go ahead and just frame this game for your stupidity! No! This game is awesome and you know it! Stop making these stupid-ass mistakes! And then blaming the game for your stupidity. This is the reason why I despise every single one of you assholes at IGN for a reason! Because you do not know awesomeness when you see it! You all can just go suck it! You all can just suck it, you losers! You losers, you biased, ignorant bastards at IGN! You all can just suck it, and you can just deal with the awesomeness that is Sonic Generations! Pusha!
There are also challenge missions for each world that mix up the gameplay. Most are cool, but a few of them, usually the ones starring Sonic's dumb friends, are annoying. Thankfully, they're almost completely optional, so you can just play the good ones.
You inconsiderate bitch! No! Sonic's friends are not stupid! Have you ever seen Tails? And Knuckles? And Amy? And Big? And Shadow? And Silver? And Vector? And Espio? And Charmy? And Blaze? And every other one of Sonic's friends in previous Sonic games, they were really helpful! And here you are, saying that they're annoying and stupid! God! Yo, fuck you, man! Fuck you! I mean, if you're gonna be making fun of Sonic's friends, then you're a bully jerk! Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, you know what? You could just go ahead and just make fun of Cream because I hate her. She's the most annoying character. But everyone else, Quit being such a bully jerk to the rest of Sonic's friends! Gah!
Sonic Generations is a love letter to the Blue Blur, a Sonic game for Sonic fans. It seems like Team Sonic finally listened to the fanbase and took everything that didn't suck about the last 2 decades of Sonic and put it in one game. The levels are great, the action is mostly tight, and the nostalgia is at its max. For more on Sonic Generations, spin dash to IGN.com.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't sighing really angrily. I just came over Sonic. Anyway, god damn it, IGN! You just can't lay off my Sonic the Hedgehog, can you? You just cannot stop making fun of my lover. God, IGN! God, how ignorant and biased could you possibly be? God, man. God. I'm so mad at you. Okay, now the score was good. I mean, I'll give it that. I mean, an 8.5 out of 10. That's pretty good. But your complaints? They made no sense. They were bullcrap. I mean, especially when you just ran into the wall. I'm gonna play this clip again. Yup, I'm gonna play this clip again. This show just sounds stupid. You are. This is how stupid you really are. Prussia! God! I mean, you know what? I wonder what this reminds me of. Oh yeah, I remember. This reminds me of your Sonic Unleashed review. Yeah, even though you did the review 3 years ago, I'm gonna bleed the oblivious retarded Sonic tard and bring it up again. Because I just can't get over crap. I'm still holding a grudge about it. Yeah, I'm so pissed about that. Why would you do a bad review on Sonic Unleashed? But then again, it has nothing to do with Sonic Unleashed. This is about Sonic Generations and how you did a horrible review on it, even though you gave it an 8.5 out of 10. God, man, you can just not lay off my lover. Stop it, IGN. Stop it. Can we just have just one review? Just one review where you're not bullying and picking on Sonic the Hedgehog? Can you? Can you? Please. God, man. God. I am still complaining about a really positive review on one of my favorite Sonic games, yet I'm complaining about your complaints. God! Ugh! Screw you, IGN, you biased, ignorant, bully-jerking bastards! God! You know what? I'm done. I'm done with this crap. I am done with IGN. IGN is the worst piece of crap reviewers ever. I am sounding really mad right now. I am mad. Good. Anyway, I'm done. This has been a commentary. I'll see you next time. Good.